Hello, my devilish darlings, and welcome to r/entitled parents. I hope you enjoy. Entitled Cow accuses me of devil worshipping and steals almost $200 worth of my stuff. This happened a little while ago, back before everything went to hell. Excuse formatting, I am on mobile, but also an idiot. And, I can feel this guy, I'm also an idiot. Okay, here's the cast. EM, entitled mom. Okay, son, actually a cool guy. Me, some random guy we found. I enjoy playing the game Magic the Gathering, and for those who are unfamiliar with Magic, I will explain some things that will be important. Man, I can't read. There are 5 colors of magic: white, blue, red, black, and green. None of those are important to the story except black, green, and white. Black summons lots of demons, zombies, and other things you might find in a crappy horror movie. Green summons big creatures like beasts and dinosaurs. White deals with angels and humans mostly. Now, a lot of magic cards have very interesting art, to say the least. If you look up the magic card called Assassinate, there is a lot of blood and gore and other This will also be important. So I was at a tourney at my local game store because I'm starting to get more competitive. This kid and I are chatting about some of the decks he made and then decided to have a game. He tells me that his mom is at the thrift store and will be back in 30 minutes so we can play. Now, we started the game, both off to a good start. When the cow comes back, I'm playing a mono black deck I've had for about a week, and it's a demon tribal deck. This means there are a lot of cards with the demon creature type. This kid is playing white-green creatures, and we are really having fun. Enter the entitled mom. Entitled mom walks over to us and sees cards. What the hell are those? The son? Mom, these are the magic cards I told you about. Entitled mom, those aren't the cards you told me about. Those have demons on them. Me? Ma'am, these are magic cards. They just aren't like your son's. Entitled mom, don't talk to me that way, you little bastard. Wow, okay. I'm gonna get demonetized. I hope they actually knew that. Okay, I think we just censor that. I think Lily can censor that stuff. We keep arguing with her kid, arguing that they are in fact magic cards. She is visibly losing the argument because I had my cards in sleeves, and after taking them out to show that the backs of the cards are exactly the same, she gets angry. She does something so many entitled mothers do on this sub. She does something so many entitled mothers do on this sub. She apologizes? I don't see a lot of entitled parents apologize. I'm sorry, what? She apologizes. I tell her it's okay, and she says to make up for that, she will buy me a $5 booster pack. I turn my back and pick which one I want, as there are close to 20 different packs at this store. Then I hear a bell. I turn to find entitled mother gone. All my cards gone. Kay says he will get them back for me. But when I do, I decide not to press charge because I'm not an asshole like she is. Kay and I are still good friends and have continued to play over FaceTime, and it's working well. There probably won't be another EM story from this, so here's hoping I keep my cards a little safer. My god, if I can't read this, and let's look at the comments because I hear they're really funny. Banisher to Shadow Realm. Oops, wrong trading card game, my bad. I summoned my Dark Magician. Then freaking Kai was like, I summon my Blue Eyes White Dragon. I fucking love Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay. Man, I have a lot of freaking mistakes in this.
Entitled dad at Chick-fil-A asked me to babysit his kid and makes a fuss with management when I say no. This happened last year around this time. I thought you would enjoy sharing in the madness. I care for a 2-year-old full-time, as well as her sister, but only after school. The little one's allergies are super bad right now. Their family just moved a few months ago. This is their first year in Texas spring. So we've been touring indoor playgrounds lately for her physical activity. We usually rotate between McDonald's, a bouncy place with an awesome toddler area, and Chick-fil-A. The worst/most neglectful parents are usually at Chick-fil-A, I have found. So we go early so she doesn't get trampled by unsupervised big kids. Today, about half an hour in, a man walks into the play area and sets his toddler on the floor and walks back out. It was just me and my child at that point, but I was still shocked. Who dropped their toddler off in a room with a complete stranger? There are 2 big windows, but the area I was sitting in is in a corner with solid walls. Only about 25% of the play area is visible from the main dining room. The little boy starts fussing almost immediately. A minute or 2 later, 3 big kids, ages 4 to 9 approximately, came in and started running around like crazy. The boy got scared, and when one big kid left, he followed her. He clearly didn't want to be in there. Dad just brought him back and plopped him down, leaving without a word. As soon as another unsupervised kid left, he followed. This happened 2 more times. The last time he brought him back, he said, very exasperated, "Can you watch him for me since you're watching your kids too?" I told him no, that I wasn't watching my kids. I was the babysitter for one little girl. I charged $15 an hour and prorate by the half hour. Cash up front. He just looked at me for a minute, then took his boy to the counter and asked to speak to the manager. I couldn't hear the conversation because I was in the play place, but after lots of hand-waving and pointing, the dude left after the manager repeatedly shook their head. The manager told me later that he was demanding I be removed because I solicited him.
Entitled mother lets her kids steal my blind cane. So, a bit of backstory. I'm a 28-year-old woman who just recently went fully blind. When I was a teenager, I volunteered with my local youth group to help rebuild Mississippi after Hurricane Katrina. And while down there, I picked up a fungi parasite called histoplasmosis that over a decade migrated to my eyes and slowly caused blindness. I've been totally blind for about a year now, so I'm pretty new to it, but I digress. When I first went blind, I barely left the house and was afraid to go in public. I felt like everyone was staring at me, and in all honesty, I barely knew what I was doing. The transition had been difficult, and I didn't have any support group to teach me. One day, my husband asked if I can take an Uber down to the bank and deposit a rent check, and I reluctantly agree. While out, he messages me again and reminds me that we're out of a few crucial groceries. There was a Walmart grocery literally across the street from the bank, so I figured everything in life is an experience, and I'll have to learn how to shop alone eventually, so why not? Everything was fine at first, and I was only grabbing a few things, so I didn't need a cart. I was using my cane and what little echolocation skills I had at the time to get around, but was still bumping into things as we blind tend to do sometimes. My cane suddenly hit something a bit softer, and I figured maybe I had whacked someone's leg, and apologized. Cue entitled kid, EK, and entitled mother, EM. Me, shoot, I'm sorry, EM. Hey, you just hit my son! Me, I'm so sorry, ma'am. I didn't see him there. EM begins yelling. How could you not see him? He's clearly right here! Now I'm fully blind, but I don't wear glasses, mostly because I can't afford a good UV blocking pair, but also I'm not looking for pity or to play the part of a generic blind person. I just want to be treated like a normal person, but I do understand her confusion as blindness is a spectrum, so I try to calmly explain. Me. Ma'am, I'm blind. I can't see anything, let alone your son. That's why I have to use the cane, so I can get around without... She cuts me off. If you're blind, why aren't you wearing big sunglasses? Now, as a blind person, I get a lot of stupid questions, but I understand a lot of them are just people who don't know better, so I try to happily answer as many as I can. Me. Those are really expensive. Around $200 for a good pair, and I really don't need any inside. EM. You're not blind, you're faking it! Here's where my blood started to boil. I can't think of any reason someone would want to pretend to be blind. It's an actual hell, and nothing pisses me off more than when someone calls me a liar when I'm not. Just as I'm about to respond, I feel a tug, and before I blink, I realize this little demon spawn has snatched my $100 cane from my hands. For those of you who don't understand, that's like if you're shopping and suddenly the power goes out and you can't see a single light. Without my cane, I can barely move at all without crashing into anything. My voice gets shaky as I begin to panic. Please give that back, I really need it! EM, no you don't, you liar! My son deserves to play with it more than you! I hear her shuffle away and my expensive cane cracking into metal displays and such as they leave. I start crying and waving my arms in front of me to grab onto something, anything, and end up crashing and falling into a center aisle display, making a loud scene. Without fail, I somewhat curl into a ball and cry. I'm alone in public, in the dark, and I had no idea what to do. Suddenly, I feel a hand on my shoulder, and a man's voice, we'll call him AJ for awesome guy, asks if I'm okay, and to stay right here. I do, but begin to at least sit up and listen. This man must have been tall and built like a tank because his footsteps sounded like a giant and I felt a suction of wind when he took off. Maybe about 30 or 40 feet away, I hear this loud bellowing like an angry lion and a loud crash. Then, before I know it, the man is back and helping me to my feet. He takes my hand and puts my cane into my palm and helps me pick up the items I dropped when I fell into the display. Me, wiping my tears from my cheeks. Thank you so much. I didn't know how to handle that. AJ, don't worry about it. Some people are just monsters. This guy restored my faith in humanity and even helped me finish shopping and helped me get out of the store. As we're leaving, I can hear the familiar screeching of EM, something about AJ grabbing the cane and pulling hard, flinging her little devil child into the shopping cart. I don't know if she was exaggerating or not, but it would explain the crash I heard. It's easy to feel alone in a world without sight, but even through the sheer terror of being stripped of my cane, at least I know that there are people willing to stand up for me when I need it. Edit. Because of the sheer overwhelming amount of people asking, if you're blind, how are you typing? I'll first answer with, my fingers! And secondly, I'm using a screen reader called Narrator that reads the screen. Wherever my cursor or finger is over the screen, it reads. When I type a letter, it reads. Guys, just like Google it or something.